This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so answering yesterday's question, first question, which is what is VM and why you need it. Okay, so VM, if you see, there is something called host operating system. Okay, so let me come here, this pen. Now this is host operating system. Okay, host operating system is this thing, and this is your guest operating system or guest machine, you can say. This one, this guy is guest and this guy is host. Okay, now what happens is, let me say I am working on a Windows machine or I have a laptop, okay, where Windows is installed already. Okay, and you give me some work to be done on Linux. Now a few years back, when Docker, there is something called Docker, okay, or let me say there is a tool, okay, XYZ. There is a tool XYZ which works only on Linux environment, okay, and you gave me a task to work with that tool. Let me say it is XYZ, or let me say it's a Docker. Okay, it's earlier it was like that, now it is not like that. Docker is compatible everywhere, but earlier it was only compatible with Linux. Now you give me a machine or you give me a tool which is compatible with only one type of operating system, let me say Linux. Okay, now I have one laptop, okay, and that too, in that laptop I have Windows installed. Okay, this is my Windows. I have installed this. Now you are asking me to work with Docker, which will work only with Linux. So what I have to do is I have to uninstall Windows and install Linux and then install this Docker and then start the work. Now there is a problem. There are 10 other applications or 10 other things which are working on Windows. What about that? Who will take care of that? So I can't uninstall Windows and start working with Linux. The second thing, Linux is not user friendly also. So what option I have? So what I can do is I can take help of something called VM or virtual machine. So virtual machine will run on the top of your actual machine. Okay, so this is my actual machine. Sorry. So this is my actual machine. Basically this is my actual machine ka hardware, actual machine ka storage, server, networking. This is actual machine. On top of that machine I have many virtual machines. Okay, and these virtual machines will be remotely accessible or you can directly access it. Basically 99% will be remotely accessible only. Okay, so now what we are doing is we are migrating these VMs to our AWS environment. So earlier my local machine was hosting these applications, right? So you have a VM, you have operating system, you have application. Now what I'm saying is if you don't want this, means the application is no more required in your server. This is server, this is my local machine. This is I don't want it here. Then what I can do is I can take it out, this VM, VM1, VM2, VM3, VM4, VM5, VM6. So like that there will be multiple VMs. I'll take each VM and I will bring it to AWS environment. Now the good thing in AWS environment, what it will be, that it is asking me to pay as you go model. Now when I'm using the virtual machine, then only I will pay, and if I'm not using, I'm not going to pay for the virtual machine. First thing. Second thing, I'll get a very good speed. Third thing, it is more secure. Fourth thing, my this application or my existing local machine will be free. Okay, so if you are from a technical background and you have worked with Oracle, then you will know that if you install one Oracle software, okay, like let me say Oracle 10G or Oracle 8G, your machine will become very slow and you will not be able to do anything. You'll not be able to even click. If click means it will take 5 minutes to go to the next page. It will become that slow. So I don't want all those things. So what I am doing right now is I'm migrating the VM alone. So VM, operating system, application. Similarly, there will be multiple VMs. One VM I picked and I am migrating it to AWS environment. So this is the goal or this is the end result what I want. Understood this thing? Aditya, I guess this was your question. So did you understand this?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the aim of the activity we are doing? Now, this problem is not only faced by individuals like me or some XYZ. This problem is being faced by multiple organizations because most of the servers, okay, whenever we are working with some client, most of the servers are located somewhere in US, UK, and what we do is we remotely connect to those machines, okay, via VM or via VDI. VDI is nothing but virtual desktop. You can say like that, it's a virtual desktop. So via VDI, we connect to these VMs. Now there are multiple problems which we face. Everybody who has worked would have faced it, like connectivity issues. Many times it will not get connected. Even if it gets connected, there will be a frequent disconnection. There will be slowness and there will be good amount of latency. That is for me as a programmer or as a developer or as a person who is monitoring the application. But for company, there is another problem that these VMs come with huge cost. And obviously, if I have an option available where I can reduce the cost, why should I not go for it? Okay, and that to a good one. So now what has happened is most of the companies have identified that if we move to cloud, we can save money by many ways, not only one way, by many ways. It is like cloud. I'll compare cloud to our electricity. Today I need to run television in my home. For that, I'm not going to buy a electricity company or I'm not going to put a power plant. Okay, earlier it was like that only. You just need electricity for, let me say, 9 to 6. Okay, that to run a television, and you had to basically buy a power plant from where power will come to your television and you'll switch on the television and you'll start working. So that headache was always there with the companies. If you're a big company, well and good, go ahead, you have money, you spend it. But for small companies, they never had that money and they were never able to succeed. Now once cloud is there, they've slowly started migrating to AWS or any cloud environment for that region, and they've started to see the benefits out of that. 60% of cost saving is happening at this point of time. So there are many companies, I'll not say one or two, there are many companies who are moving to cloud, and there is where the role of a cloud engineer comes into picture. They will ask you, what project have you worked on? If you say I have worked on a migration project, they will take you like that only. They will simply ask you, what have you done when it comes to migration? You say I have done this, whatever I'm showing you in the demo. You say I have done this thing. They will understand that yes, you know how to migrate, and then they will pull you inside the company and they will get a job. So this is what my end result is, or my desired state is. This is my existing application, or this is the existing setup what I have. I want to pull this thing to my AWS environment. Now to make this happen, yesterday one more question came that show me how it is done. So whatever I was showing, like this will happen, this will happen, I think Muhammad told that show me how it is getting done. So what I have done is, because my system was very slow, I have uninstalled the virtual box. So I don't have the virtual box now. This virtual box is not there. So even if I go with this, I will not find anything, basically because I have uninstalled that. So they started installing, I don't need cancel. So what I have done is I've captured the screenshots. Okay, so what I first I will do is I need a VM or a virtual machine. So there are many companies who will give VM, but there is one setup or one company which gives VM for free, and that is VM or virtualbox.org. That is owned by Oracle, and they will give you virtual machines for free. So I went to that place, and which is your host operating system. For most of us, it will be Windows only. Host means currently where are you working? So this is Windows. So I click on Windows. The moment I click on Windows, I get something like this: VirtualBox 6.1.2 something something win, and it will be some this much bytes of memory it will take. So now what I will do is I will install this like any other software. So I'll double click. So this will open. It will say, welcome to Oracle VM VirtualBox Setup Wizard. Click next. It will take you here, and then say yes, I want to install, and the installation will happen, and you will it will get installed. So install, and this will get installed. So now what has happened? First thing, I have a virtual machine, but that machine does not have an operating system. Okay, so now I will choose the operating system. Generally I go for these kind of operating systems: CentOS, Linux, Red Hat, because these are free again. Okay, So if you go to this website www.centos.org download, you will get the downloadables or the software or the operating system. You take any one of them, CentOS, Linux, something something, or there are many things. So I took CentOS Linux. I took that and I downloaded that. Okay, once I download it, I will come to my VM, which will look like this. I'll click on machine, I will click on add, and I will just add the, so it will ask me where is your operating system. So I will show you all these things. Downloads. This is your virtual box. So if you download the virtual box, this will look like this. Okay, then if you download the image, the image or the operating system will look like this, CentOS 7. Just remember that you download the 64-bit one. Okay, it will be a disk image file basically. So just browse to this and just say add. It will ask you where it is located. Go to that and add it. Once you have added, you will get a machine like this. So I had two VMs basically. One was Jenkins and one was prod machine. So if you click on this, so it is in power off mode, then you just click here and there is a start button, start it, and then a console will open and then you can start working with that. Okay, but at this point of time, I don't want to work with these machines. Rather, I want to export these machines to AWS environment. Okay, so what I do is I go to this file. Okay, in the file, I come to this place. There is something called export appliances. I click on that. It will give me a page like this where I have to select the name and all. So I gave the name as uh, OVF. So if you give the name as .ovf, automatically it will get converted to VMDK, which is virtual machine disk image, and it will start getting downloaded. So finally, once it is downloaded, you will get something like this, which I have it here. Documents, something like this. So this is there, this is there. So I told you, if you go for something called OVA format. So OVA format means, sorry, OVF. OVF is open virtualization format. If you go for this, you get only one file. Okay, but if you go for OVF format, you will get one, two, three types of files you'll get. So this is clear, right? Till this point, it is clear. And then what I do is I come to my this document. Now I'll follow this document. Okay, basically. So it says that if you want to migrate your application, you have to follow this document. It is by Amazon only. Amazon has only given you this document. So I want to do an image import. So it says if you want to do an image import, there is a prerequisite. You should do something. So what you should do? So it says create an Amazon S3 bucket for storing the exported image. Okay, the bucket must be in a region where you want to import the VM, like this. So what I have done, I went to Amazon, I clicked on S3, and I created a bucket. That's it. I did not do anything extra. So I created a bucket and I gave a name. So you can give any name, there's no problem here. Click here and you will see that I just uploaded the files. I have not uploaded the other file, means I have not uploaded this one, Jenkins 2.0, because it was big and it will take more time. Obviously it will take more money for me to import this thing to AWS. So I went with a smaller one, which is some 884 KB, which is 884 MB. So I went for this. So I uploaded 1, 2, 3, all these three to my S3 bucket. So this is what you see here, 1, 2, 3, 8, whatever it is. So this is my VMDK file. Okay, so now what all I have done? First thing, I created a virtual machine. I downloaded the stuff and I did everything. I did the setup. Then I powered off my virtual machine and I created a OVF image of that. Then it was in my local. From my local, I brought it to my AWS environment. To bring into AWS environment, I just created a bucket and said upload, and I uploaded the content. That's it, done. Till this point, if you have any doubt or any questions, please go ahead and ask. If no, then say no, whatever it is.
Oh no, Vikas, you can go ahead.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. So now what I'm going to do is I'll again come to my document. So it says S3 bucket. So how to create bucket and all you can get here. Then it says that I need few IAM rules. Okay, and the IAM rule is basically with the name VM import. This name is important. Okay, they have configured their system like that. So this is important. So before going into this, okay, I will do something else. So it says if you have not already registered for AWS CLI, then you have to come here, AWS CLI. Now AWS CLI is Amazon command line interface. What it will do is it will allow you to access AWS features from command line also. There are many people who are very much used to command line. Okay, so they want, what is command line? So if you could put here CMD, this is your command prompt or command line, or anything which works like this is command line. Okay, so in Windows 10 they have upgraded this to a better version, I will say, and they have brought PowerShell. What is PowerShell? Come here, say PowerShell. So you get something like this, Windows PowerShell. Okay, now this is a modern command prompt, I will say, which will help you to work with your applications like Amazon and anything, or maybe Python also. You can work with this. Now what I need is, I will just, it is pre-installed. Okay, it's not like in my it is installed, in yours it is not installed. It is pre-installed. It comes with Windows 10. Windows 7 I'm not sure. So when you come to this place, it will open like this, a page like this. Okay, now if you have installed Amazon CLI, this is PowerShell. To make PowerShell talk to Amazon CLI, you need to install CLI. How do you do that? So just come here or click here. It will take you to this Amazon command line interface. Now if you come here, there is a section, it says installing AWS, how to install. So just click here, come down. So I was telling AWS CLI version 2, due to some reason it is not working in my system. Please check if it is working in your system or not. Better you can go for this version 1. Okay, so it says installing AWS CLI version 1. Just click here, then come down. Here you will find this thing, MSI installer. Installing, no, not this. This one. Sorry, not this one also. Sorry, installing, then Windows, and if you scroll down, you will get this, install AWS CLI version 1 using MSI installer. Okay, go for the MSI installer. Okay, because PowerShell will work with this only. If you are a Python developer, then go with this Python and pip. If you are working on some other command line, or you are working with shell or something like that, then go for this. So I am interested in this. So if you click on this, basically it will start downloading. It will ask you whether you want 64-bit or 32-bit. So I want 64-bit. If you click here, it will start downloading the content. So I don't want this. Let me pause this, because this is already downloaded for me. So if I come here to my downloads, here's my download, C drive, user, yeah, it's here. So if I come to my downloads, I will see something like this, AWS CLI 64-bit PY13. Let me delete the duplicate one. So this is the one. So you have to just keep double clicking it and you have to install it. So because for me it is already installed, I will directly get this web page, but for you, you click on next, and then you can go ahead and install this. Nothing big deal here. Done. So this is also done. No, I don't want all these things. Once you are done, once you are finished with this, come back to your AWS, this place. Now if you say here AWS and say configure, if you say like this AWS configure, it will recognize this command. If your CLI installer or MSI installer is not there, it will not recognize this command. It will give you error. Okay, so let me check whether it is working or not. So it is working. So it is asking me for an access key ID. Now from where will I get the access key ID? So I will get it from my console. So let me come back to my console, which is this. Here I will come to my AWS, then my security credentials. Okay, again it became slow. Okay, wait for some time. Okay, so continue with security credentials. Come to this thing, access key and secret access key. So you will get these credentials. So you will get it once only. Okay, so because now if I want, I cannot. So I have to make this inactive, or let me leave it like this. I'll say create new access key. You can do any number of times. You can download and keep it, or you can just use it like this. Either way, it is okay. So access key ID. So take this access key ID, Control C. Come to yours here, just give that Control V. Now it will ask you AWS secret access key. Secret access key, again I'll get it from here only. So secret access key is this one. Give this. Then it says which region are you working with. So for me, I am working with North Virginia. You can just go ahead and check. IAM, you will not get it, it is global. So come back to your services. So let me close this first. Services, let me come to EC2. Then this global will automatically change to the region where I'm working, and then I will choose the region accordingly. So this is the North Virginia. North Virginia is nothing but US East 1, everything in small letter. So I'll give that only. So I will say US East 1. You can, if you're working in a different region, choose a different region, whichever it is. Enter. It says default output format, which format you want. You can put text or anything, but for this you need JSON. So put JSON only. Remember to put it in small letters. Done. So this is now ready for me, or from my console I can do everything. So what I want to do, let me see what all the buckets are available. So I say AWS S3 LS, show me all the buckets in this account. So I have, if you want to create a bucket, now because I'm using root credentials, I have all the access. Okay, AWS S3 MB, let me create a bucket because 67 dummy. So this will create a bucket for me. MB is make bucket. Okay, invalid argument type. Okay, oh sorry, the bucket name should be given like this. S3 colon WSS. No, I think it was like this. S3 colon // Okay, so the bucket is made. Now if I say AWS S3 LS, now if I want to see, I'll see the bucket also. Meanwhile, I'll go to my console also and I'll check. So let me come to my S3. So if you see here, just now I have created a bucket because this is a dummy, and the same I can see here also. So this is happening because I have used root credentials. Okay, done with that. Now back to what I want to do. So I want to do export of my VM. So coming back, CLI I just done. CLI is done. So let me come back. I'm there at VM export import, image import. Let me come down. Now it says you create a IAM role VM import, and for that you click on this. So let me come here. This has 2-3 things to be done. Okay, so let me go step by step. So first is I have to create an IAM role. Okay, but before creating IAM role, let me create some policies. Okay, so it says that you have to create a policy. So I have created a policy called trust-policy. First policy. Okay, so let me create a policy which is trust-policy. So back to my S3 console. From here I will go to IAM. Now if you come to your customer managed policy, I already have those policies, so it is showing 2. If you don't have, then it will not show anything. But what you can do is you can come to policies, click on policies, and you can say create policy. So basically I'll create 2 policies. Okay, so it says either you can go for a visual editor or you can go for the JSON. So I already have the code why to go for visual editor. So I'll come here and I will simply copy paste this content, which is this. So I have 2 policies. One is trust policy. Take this entire thing, Control C, back here, paste it, Control V. Here it is only saying that this is VM import. Okay, or this will be used by VM imports. So you can, it will be good for you if you name it like this. The name is trust-policy, but you can change this. Okay, you can change the policy name, but don't change this one, the role name. Okay, so let me go ahead and change this. So I will say VM import. So done. I not change anything here. Okay, review policy. Okay, it says the policy contains following error. So I have copy pasted incorrectly. Let me go back. Control C. Control A. Review policy. The policy contains following the prohibited field principal information IAM policies. Second. Oh, sorry, not this. This is trust policy. I don't need this. I don't need this. I need this basically. Wait 1 second. This is not this is not the one which is needed. Trust policy is not needed. This is needed basically. Role policy. So my mistake. So you need to create role policy. Okay. So Control C, role policy. Just let me go back. Control A. Let me delete this. Come here. So it says create a file name called role policy.json. So why to create all those things? I will do it directly in the console only. So let me copy the entire content. Let me go till down and let me paste it here. Now I will see what is there basically. Okay, so version, okay, fine, no problem. Statement, so it says effect allow. So what are the actions it's allowed? So get the bucket location, get the objects inside the bucket, and list the bucket. So whoever will get this policy can do all these things. Who will get this? So you have to give the ARN name. So ARN name is Amazon resource name. So who is the Amazon resource, or who is the bucket, or what is the bucket you have created? So whatever name you have given to the bucket, you have to use that. For me, I have given the name as vmdk this thing, so I'll be using this. So I will change this thing, disk image bucket, to my bucket name. Similarly, this also I'm going to change. Remember, there is a /* here, don't override that. Okay, done. Then there is another policy. It says effect allow, what all will be allowed. So it says S3 get bucket location object, get the object, list the bucket, put the object, and get the bucket. So if you see, this is for export. Okay, I'm doing it via my console, so I'll not need this. Okay, I'll just take it off. So let me delete this. One second, Control Z. I will take off this entire thing. One second, wait. Let me delete. So resource, from here I'll start deleting. Not this. So here to anyhow I have to give. Okay, this is what I have to. So this resource is okay. After this means after this comma. So wait, till here. So this is what I have deleted. Why I have deleted that part? So I'll just now show you that part which I have deleted. I basically deleted this part because I don't have a EC2 here. I'm not doing it via EC2, and these permissions, which is effect, allow, action, get bucket, get object, list object, it is already there for me. Get bucket, get object, list bucket, it is already there for me. So I don't need all these things. It will give me a duplicate error. So I don't need that, and I'll just create a policy here. So it says there is an error. So the same I have copied here also. I'll take this. Control C, Control A, Control V, and my bucket name, which is vmdk. Control C. So let me change this email. Control V, Control V, Control S, done, and shit, and review policy. Let me give a name. So name, I'll take it from here only, from the document itself. So here the name says role-policy. Okay, so role-policy. I'm taking the names from here just for my to make my life easy. If you want, you can. If you don't want, don't do. Hyphen policy, let me say vmdk. Okay, in description also I'll give the same thing, and done. So one policy is created. Similarly, I'll create one more policy, and this time the policy will be this one. And the name of the policy will be, you are logged in. Yes, so let me say I am user. So this is the name I'm going to use. It's all in the document. Okay, if you read through the document, you'll get everything. So create another policy. and again JSON. Let me come back to the content and copy this entire stuff. Control C. I'll take this off. Control V. Here I need to change one thing. I need to change the bucket name. Okay, so this bucket name is going to change here because my bucket name and the bucket name they have used is different. This is the bucket name basically. Control V. Similarly, this is the bucket name. Control V. Review policy. Done. So again, I'll give a name. So this is name is IAM something I was telling. I'll give the name. So it is IAM user. Control C. Hyphen VMDK. Control C. Control V. Done. So once this is done, okay, this is also done. So it says VMDK, this is done. Now I'll create a role. So I created two policies and now I'll create one role. Now the role is VM import, and I was testing this sometime back and I've already created that role. Okay, but I'll do it again for you. So VM import. So I have this role already. I'll show you what all I have done here. So I have created two policies. I have created a role where I have given him first an administrative access because he'll need to manage many things. Second is the role policy. So role policy I just now created again with the name as role hyphen policy hyphen VMDK. So this is one thing, means I have attached two policies. Second thing what I have done is in trust relationships, I click on trust relationship, edit trust relationships. Again, go back to your document. Here you will have this. It says trust hyphen relationship policy dot JSON. So you have to click this content, Control C, and you have to copy paste this content. So Control V, update trust policy. So two policy, one role, and in that role you have to attach this thing and you have to edit the trust relationship. Now the last activity for here is I will create a user, and this is the user which I have already created. Here you have to just go ahead and add permission. So you have to give two permissions again to this guy, that user policy permission which I have created and admin access. Once you add permissions, okay, you will come to security credentials and you will come here. So create access key. So you will get, either you can download and keep it or you can do it like this. So now what you do is come here, take the user ID, Control C, come here. Now earlier I logged in as a root user. Okay, now I will log in as this user, demo user. So AWS configure Control V, enter, and the secret access key. Okay, the region is US East 1, so I'll give US East 1, and the file format is JSON. So done, I'm all set. Now two more things have to be done, and then my VM this thing will start happening, export will start happening. Now for here I need to create the last file which is known as config file. So This is the config file which I have to create, not this. Let me go back one step. So this is the config file. So it says containers.json. So this is the file I have to create. So I have created this yesterday also. So what I did is I went here, said new text document, double click, open this file, save as JSON, and here all files, save it. So obviously I have it, so it is saying it's already exists, so I'm not going to create it. No. So where is it? So this is the one. Okay, so well, let me go inside, and I have copy pasted the content from here. This is the content I have copy pasted. Okay, now here description can be anything. You write any description, that is up to you. Format for me is vmdk. So come here, the file format is vmdk, so I have given vmdk. Then you give the bucket name, which is the bucket name, and what is the file you want to export. So where will you get that? So obviously wherever you have downloaded it, you will get it there. So documents, so this is the name for my file, prod-machine-disk001.vmdk. so I've given the same here, prod-machine. So done, this is all set, I'm all done. Now let me close this. And one last thing you have to do is you have to take the path of this file. So properties, so path is here, it is in under C user Vikas desktop. So I can do one more thing, I can say cd, I'll go inside desktop only, cd desktop. Okay, now I have to run a command. This command is basically this thing. It says AWS EC2 import image minus minus description, give any description, and minus minus disk containers, and where is your file located. Okay, so I have already done that in a different this thing. See, I gave this AWS EC2 import image minus minus description. I'll maximize this. AWS AWS EC2 import image minus minus description, any description you can give, minus minus disk container, and the container.json. Where is your container.json located? The moment you hit this, you get an output like this. Okay, so it says this is the description and this is the task ID. So take this task ID with you, Control C, keep it with you. And if you want to see what is happening, okay, so you have a command AWS EC2 describe -import -image -task minus minus import task ID, and you have to give that ID. So let me do that also. So it will show if the migration has happened or not, or what is the current status of that. It will take some time. So it says auth failed, so you're not able to validate this thing. Okay, let me come here and try this. Let me take that command. error auth field for this also. Wait, let me go back and say AWS configure control V, then the secret access key. This is the secret access key for me. It will be different for you also. Okay, control V, then region US East 1, US East 1, and the default is JSON. Now if I use the command again, it should show me the status. What is the current status? So it is currently pending. So if you see this, status is currently pending. So it depends on how much big or small image you have, it will take that much time. Now the status will change something like this. So when you just start, it will be pending like this. The status is pending. Then after some time, it will go like this, converting. See here, it is saying converting. Then again, it will go to pending, and then it will become ready. Once it is ready, then you will come to your EC2 services, EC2, and here in your AMIs. So currently it is pending, so it's not showing here, but it will show here only, and it will take some time. It will take some 3 to 4 hours to get. So here if you see, these are the images which I was trying to import. So it will come here, and if you see, these are private images and this is owned by me. So basically this is the image which I brought from my this thing. So if you see, today only it came 552 like that. So let me take one image, and using that image, now I can launch an instance. So if the image is imported to your EC2, it means it is ready to be used. Now you can just use it like how you use other EC2 images. So I will use T2 micro, configure instance detail. I will add storage. I will tag it. I will go to security group. For time being, I'll use the default one. Launch. So this is my import of, this is my Linux machine which I have there. So it is Linux CentOS release this thing. Say launch. It will ask you key value pair, launch it. So this is one way of launching your or migrating your stuff VM from your on-prem to your actual this thing to your AWS environment. This is one way I'm saying. Okay, and I'll also say this is a difficult and a confusing way. Why? Because you have to create rules, you have to create policies, and you have to create many things. Okay, but this is the way how you learn. This is, I will suggest you go with this. Then I will show you the next one more way is there, easy way is there. Okay, I'll show you that way also, but let this get launched first. And talking about the other way, if I come to services migration, so you have something called AWS Migration Hub. Okay, it says me go to Europe or this thing. Please wait for some time, let it get launched. So the instance which I was trying to run is now running and it is available. So if I want to connect, I can simply connect to this via my SSH. So basically what I have done is I had a VM which was running on my local machine, and I migrated that to AWS environment, and I'm also now able to connect. So this is most probably it will connect. Okay, wait. Let me connect and connect here. Root is a user, connect. So it will take some time and it will get connected. So this is a live example of how you migrate a VM or an application running on premises to your AWS environment. Okay, you have to know what all roles you have created, what are the policies you have created, what all you have done. So this is a tough way or a confusing way of doing it. There is a different way also where things become much easier for you. So go for migration. Now it says simplify and accelerate the migration of your data center to AWS. So this is a much easier way, and obviously it's a much costlier way also. So let me just change the region. It is not supporting this, so let me change to this region. Okay, so for this it is very easy. Okay, you have some examples here, aram se you can see, and so there is something called server migration service or SMS. Okay, now this is chargeable. Okay, and it is good amount of charge, not like $1, $2. It will be something more than $10. Okay, so I don't want to connect this, but I have a video. Okay, and I'll share that video. You can go through that video, and you can, it is very clearly saying what has to be done, how it has to be done, and like it's easy, you can aram se understand. So next time when we meet, I will expect that you know both the ways. One is this way where you use server migration service or SMS, and the second is where you do the hard work and go ahead and do everything, like you create the role, you create the policy, you create the image, you do export import, you do all the things of your own. And the second is this. So this is costly. It will cost you minimum more than $10. Okay, $10 is somewhere around 700, 800 rupees minimum for 1 hour, and depends, if it goes like 4 hours, 5 hours, it will cost you like that. So I don't want to do this. Okay, but I'll share a video with you which will clearly tell you step by step what is happening, who is doing, what is doing, and what has to be done. In your interviews you can very well go and talk about this. Yeah, please go ahead, you have a question.
Yeah, because this is Arun.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Is there anything mandate by the client that you have to mandately migrate the data by using
No.
PowerShell or by using, I mean, just in case
No.
when they give us something like you are not supposed to use that SMS to migrate the data, and mandately you have to work out on VMware, or it is our choice. However, we do ultimately migrating the data is the primary, what do you call, primary goal.
Okay, so it's a very good and a valid question. Now see, if you're working as a freelancer, okay, then obviously you will charge this amount, whatever amount SMS is charging you or AWS is charging you, you will charge this amount to your client. Okay, and you will take the money from them. But if you're doing it for learning purpose, I will suggest go with the one which I have shown. Obviously the cost is one factor. Second factor is you learn a lot. Now when you go to proper production environment where you are working, so when migration is to happen, it is not like one VM will get migrated. Okay, there will be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of VMs which has to be migrated. And if you go like this, it will take ages. Okay, so you can't do this. If you want to save cost, yes, you can save cost, but you cannot do manually. It is not because there is something wrong or there is some security lapse or something. It is because it will take a lot of time. This VM, which is hardly 1 GB, has taken more than 5 to 6 hours for me, okay, to do the entire setup. Now I'm talking about some hundreds and 500s of VMs. So not possible manually. No, not possible. But if you have time, please go ahead. Nobody can stop you. But the clients will generally not give you this amount of time. They will say, I need it urgently. They are ready to spend the money. Hopefully I've answered your question.
Yeah, Vikas, got it.
Okay, I am expecting more questions. More questions, please.
Hi Vikas, Srinath here.
Yeah, please go.
Actually, we are doing everything is the AWS console. So what
Yeah.
about real time? Which way we are doing it and how?
In real time also, you will do most of the things from the console. Okay. And in the next topic, which I'll be teaching you, which is cloud formation. Okay. You first time do it from the console. Then you make a template, keep that template. Next time when you want to do, you just use the template and it will automatically happen. Okay. So you might have heard about something called cloud formation. So there is something called cloud formation templates. Now, when you use cloud formation, like suppose today I'm launching a EC2. Okay. So today I launch a EC2 and do all the hard work from console. Then what I will do is I will get a place. I know cloud formation is a place. So basically this is a place where I can cloud formation. So this is cloud formation. So cloud formation, I can create templates out of that. Okay. Once I have the template, I can reuse that template n number of times, and I can keep on replicating the work. And also I can change the template also. That is up to me. I can do minor changes and I can go ahead with this. So once done does not mean that you have to every time go ahead and do the hard work again. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, okay. Is there any other tools are using it because of every time?
Yeah,
No need
because
to
I'm having a
Wait. No, yes, there are tools. In fact, when you come here, no, you have a section called Migration Hub. Okay. Now, if you want the data to flow manually, you go with Snowball. If you just want to copy the data, there is something called data sync. If you want, there is server migration system, which is basically for VMs. Okay. If you want data migration, there is something called DMS. Most of them both are of the same only. The only thing is in data migration service, you also have something called schema conversion. Schema, I think you will be aware of that. Like MySQL is compatible with MySQL only. If you move MySQL to, let me say, Postgre, then you need a schema conversion. So there you do a DMS or data migration service. But in general, if you're doing a server migration, you go for SMS, which is server migration system. I've shared that video with you on the WhatsApp. You can just go through that video. It is from official website of Amazon only, where they tell you how they do it. So there is something called Trojan horse. So if you know that movie, that spy went inside and then from inside he did everything. So it works like this only. So what AWS does is AWS sends its representative there in the VM. Inside the VM, it grows, it starts capturing the snapshots and sends it back to the AWS environment, and then AWS environment accumulates everything and builds a VM inside AWS. So it's very informative. Just go through that. You'll know very much many things. In interview, you can aram se say that I have worked on SMS, and whatever is there in the video, you can talk on that. To add to that, just in Google type challenges while using SMS. You'll get few challenges. They will ask you in real life scenario, what challenges you have faced. You can pick 1 and 2 and you can say that. Hopefully I answered your question.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Mohammed, please go ahead.
Yeah, just I want to know two queries. This one, the first one is this one. Hyper-V, I think you know that is a Windows
Yeah,
VM built-in. It will
yeah,
come.
yes.
This is the for that also the same process.
SMS. It is
Yeah.
like one. Everything will go in there.
Oh, okay.
In
And
fact,
the
I think
second one.
the video which I've shared, no, they are migrating a Windows application, a .NET application running on Windows platform.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more question.
Yeah. See, if this one, if I'm migrating from this one AWS console to another this one console,
Console to
AWS console, the
console.
same process, or do we have any other console to
No,
console? If I console to console, if one console to another console.
could not get you. One console to another console means two different accounts.
No, see, if I am having this one in this, yeah, two different accounts, correct.
Huh. Then you make your see at the end the data is stored in S3 only, right? You make your S3 public. Both of you will share the same
Oh,
same data. So even if you two are at different locations altogether, you share the same S3 bucket. No problem. It will aram se work.
no, EC2, if I want to, if this one, the EC2, if I am having this one, same company, two accounts, if I want to transfer the same, this one EC2 to another, this one account, do you
Then you have
have
to take
any?
image. Then you have to take an image of that and you have to transfer the image. The running EC2
Oh,
will not. Like here also the
oh,
VM was running, we stopped the VM and then we transferred it or we exported it. Same with AWS also. AWS running EC2 will not go anywhere. You have to stop it, take an image, and then wherever you want, you can push it.
oh, okay. And how about this one? If I am migrating this one data service, it is there, no?
DNS,
Database.
uh,
Yeah, data migration. If
uh,
you have any video, can you share that
I
also?
can share one video for that also. In data migration, it is much easier because when you are there in the database, you just take a snapshot and you
Okay,
push that snapshot to AWS S3, and from there you pick it and you start your work. So automatically the table will
okay,
get, everything will get mapped. So it is fully automated. So there, no problem at all. I have one video. I'll share it with you. No problem.
okay. Do you have any third-party tools for migration in AWS or this one?
Many third-party tools are there. There are many third-party tools, not one, two. There are many.
Okay.
If you come to AWS Marketplace, no, you will get many tools.
No, if any this one on daily basis, if any this one usable this thing is there. Names, can you one, two, three names if for the interview purpose? If they ask, can you?
Third-party tools, but generally Amazon will not recommend third-party tools.
Oh,
Third-party
okay,
because they have their own tools. No, like it is like I have
okay,
the service. Why should I go for someone else like that? So generally Amazon will say stick to my service. I will give you end-to-end security and all.
If I am no, if I am getting any this one free tools or very less price tool, then so I can use that
But
kind of
then the
tool, right?
security comes into picture. No, will the client trust you on the security? That's that.
Okay,
See, if you go with this, no, the cloud migration, AWS.com cloud migration, generally they will not allow third-party tools. There are tools, okay, so but
okay,
they will not allow because I have tried like for AWS 5 super easy steps. So like this, there are many articles, but if you go with third-party tool, maybe the cost will be less, but the client will not agree because data is everything, right? Because if you see Facebook has nothing, only it has data, and doing data analytics, it is earning like millions and millions. Similarly with Google, Facebook, our Twitter, they don't have anything, they don't have any setup, but they're earning money, millions and millions of money with data only. So nobody will trust you with third-party tool when it comes to data. Sorry, yes, when it comes to data.
okay. And one more thing, can we migrate the cluster full? If I'm having VM cluster, can we migrate the full cluster?
Yes, full can be done.
To AWS this one as
Exactly, full will
infrastructure.
be done.
It can be
Full
done.
will be. Yes.
Yeah, if I'm having 10 machines in a cluster, I can full 10 machines
Because
I can transfer
we
easily.
recently
Okay.
migrated a cluster which has 30 VMs in there. So we migrated the entire stuff.
Oh,
So it will happen.
okay.
Only
Okay.
thing is,
For
if
the
the
for my
VMs are,
yeah.
then it will take some time. That's the only thing.
Okay. No, from the same this one tool and process, are we for the cluster? Do we have any other process?
No, SMS is like one tool for million services. You can go like this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
SMS is like, you can read this getting started guide. It has all the documentation. It tells that it will do everything for you. This is like all in all. See, the only one thing. See, think like this. Suppose there are two villages. Okay, think like this. There are two villages, and X and Y. In village X, people don't know in Y what they are doing, and Y people don't know X what is doing. So Y village, which is AWS, sends one spy to VMware. That spy collects all the information, sends it back to your AWS environment, and internally AWS, what he's doing is copying all the content. Okay, because he's copying all the content, now he has a ready VM available there. So now for the customer, he will say, you close that, you don't need that. I am giving you the same services here at like 60% cheaper cost. Think it in that way. So 90% of the servers migration happen like that only. You understood what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, understood.
Okay. Any more questions, guys? Okay. So if you don't have questions, I'll close this, and I'm expecting questions. You can put the questions to me on your this thing, WhatsApp or indirectly. Okay. But you have to practice to understand this entire stuff. You have to practice. Watch that video. Anywhere you have any doubt, you come to me. I'm ready to answer those because I have seen that workshop. So I'm ready to answer that. Yeah, please. If you have any question, go ahead.
Yeah, because you are
Because,
right.
Arun, let Archana speak. Yeah, Archana, go ahead.
yeah, because can you kindly share this in a Word document which from which you are copying
I
the
have
command?
put it in the AWS drive, Google Drive. So you will pull it from there. I have given you the
Okay.
access. You can pull it from there.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Arun, please go ahead.
How about today's video? Vikas? Are you going to share in WhatsApp today?
No, no, I will share the videos with you. The videos I keep for you people only. I'll share the videos. I don't want to keep it with me. I'll share the videos. I'll share the content.
Okay, Vikas. We'll be waiting for it. Thanks.
Fine. Okay, guys. Then bye bye. And for this batch, we
English
will.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.